Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you are loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. I got a comment from one of you and I forgot to screenshot that comment. And you were like, why are you so interested in religion? Talk about other things. Leave religion. What are the other things you want me to talk about? Answer me. What other things do you want me to talk about? When the source of our problem is religion, what other things do you want me to talk about? As Africans, we are suffering today. We are in the state we are today, all thanks to religion. Missionaries contributed to the downfall of the continent of Africa. But in schools, when we were growing up, all right, they told us that if not for missionaries who came to liberate us, we would have been eating ourselves. Then I grew up to a particular stage in life, I discovered that it was a lie. And I know a lot of people still have these beliefs. For a pastor to come out to tell congregations statements, we are getting to that clip soon. Because they say without Christianity in Africa, Africa would have been doomed. Alright? I tell you, people are still sleeping. Oh. And you know those who are helping people to sleep is the so-called religious men and women. Why? Because people hold these religious men and women in high esteem. So whatever they say, people say, my pastor say. And so anything that these people propagate to go a long way in affecting the society. So because you are trying to make what you are, your livelihood look nice, you come and destroy the work that our ancestors put in. They sacrificed their life to sustain us till today. You want to come and scatter it because the pulpit is what pays you your salary. This is what most people do, so-called men of God do today. They come because they are struggling to make religion look nice to you. They paint it in a way that lets you believe that what you had was evil. Thank goodness that religion came. Thank goodness that missionaries came. I remember when they told us that in Africa, around Calabar, they were killing their twins. It was Mary Celeste that came and told them, don't kill your twins. That's a lie. If you have been believing that thing, it's a lie. Go and do more research. When I realized that this was a lie, I told myself, hey, there are a lot of things that are lie. The Europeans always try their best to paint themselves as good people that came to liberate black people in Africa. This is what they always try to do. And they are successful. And this is how they capture people, making you believe that they are saviors. Remember the white savior complex. We are savior. We are the one that came to help you. But why can't we wake up? Your Majesties, why can't we wake up? So this is why I'll be firing religion. I will fire it. Because you can't talk about African poverty without religion. You can't talk about our disagreement with each other, hating our brothers and sisters without religion. It is interwoven. Religion is a tool. It's better you realize it today. Especially you that sent me that, leave that comment. It's better you realize it today. Religion is a tool that was used to propagate their influence in the continent of Africa. You hear me? Everybody is having different segments. We don't think, oh. We don't think. We are seated to wait to see what Abigail will say, so that we say, Abigail.
Those who pushed for the abolishment of slavery were Christians. They were when they came to Nigeria and they found out that Nigerians were selling themselves. History. When they came to Nigeria, they found out that Nigeria were selling themselves. Your kings were you know those who were selling you, your kings. If they were buying people and said they took our ancestors, took them for slavery, who were those selling? The kings. They were the ones selling the people. I'm showing you history now. It was the coming of the missionaries that abolished it. They were the ones that went back to Great Britain and said, we have abolished this, and they now send soldiers to now come to arrest our own people for selling our own people.
Now, this confused and rudderless con artist in a suit claims to be teaching history. At least, that is what he said.
They were the ones selling the people. I'm showing you history now.
In a bid to further manipulate and control his church members and followers, just for his personal and ideological gain, he chose to lie blatantly. He chose to be dishonest. He decided to distort history in the favor of his colonial masters. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? He said, when the Europeans came to Nigeria and found out that Nigerians were selling themselves, they started sending soldiers to arrest us. Like, seriously? How dare you? Now, do you have to swallow a spider just to catch some fly? Now, do you know if your own children will see this video in the future? How dare you? How dare you? And without any ifs or buts, your assertion that Europeans stopped African involvement in the slave trade upon their arrival is the cheapest and most shameless lie I have heard in decades. It's a gross oversimplification and distortion of historical realities on a very large scale. Now, truth be told, some of us, I mean Africans, mostly the religious ones like you, have been so indoctrinated and propagandized, so brainwashed by the colonial power structure that you have become a mouthpiece. You yourself have become a mouthpiece of propaganda, a mouthpiece of manipulation, a con artist for the Western interest. And like I've always said on this platform, one thing worse than slavery is to adjust to it. And because it's so painful and brutal, most people just adjust. And that is what is happening to a lot of melanated people all across the globe today. Now, just to be logical, if the Europeans met us, Africans, selling each other, how then did our brothers and sisters, our forefathers, how did they get to Cuba? How did they get to Haiti, America, Brazil, Barbados, Jamaica, and other parts of the Americas? How did they get there? Did we just kidnap them, tie them on our backs with some cordage made from goat skin, jumped into the ocean, and then just swim across the Atlantic to the New World to sell them? Was that what happened? Now, what happened? Tell me, what happened to your common sense? What happened to your practicality, sound judgment? What happened to you? Now, Europeans did not simply stop the slave trade. Rather, they actively participated and profited from it for centuries. European colonial powers such as Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, and the Netherlands started and were deeply involved in the transatlantic slave trade, which lasted for over 4 centuries. Now, this is what they did. Firstly, they created a massive demand for labor to work on plantations and other industries in the Americas after they unalived over 90% of the indigenous people in Cuba. Please fact check. They unalived them with sickness that they brought from Europe. Then they established extensive trade networks and logistics which facilitated the transportation of these enslaved Africans across West Africa all the way to the Americas. Now, they were the ones who constructed forts, trading posts, and factories along the African coast to serve as centers for enslaved Africans. These fortified outposts provided these European Christian traders with secure bases of operation and enabled them to assert control over coastal areas, mostly the Gulf of Guinea. Now go to Cape Coast Castle, Elmina Castle, or Fort Christenborg in Ghana, for example, and tell me if it was your king that built these forts and trading posts. Tell me if it was your king who built them. How can you, as a melanated person, overlook and ignore all these historical facts and tell your congregation that the Europeans met us Africans selling each other and stopped it? How do you live with such duplicity of knowing the truth, yet lying to your followers? How do you even sleep at night at all? How? Yet you and trading post. Tell me if it was your king who built them. How can you, as a melanated person, overlook and ignore all these historical facts and tell your congregation that the Europeans met us Africans selling each other and stopped it? How do you live with such duplicity of knowing the truth, yet lying to your followers? How do you even sleep at night at all? How? Yet you stand there in front of Africans that you are supposed to wake up from their slumbers. You stand there to oversimplify the transatlantic slave trade with the whole brother selling brother narratives that your colonial master gave you. Shame on you, Femi Lazarus. Shame on you. You fail to say how they forced our kings. Now, see, for example, how easy it is for you to have been brainwashed and conditioned by some unfounded story that was put in a book by some group of charlatans. You have been so turned that you turn against your own people and disregard the struggles, the fight of your forefathers, your ancestors.
Somebody who has not taken time to study history will say, don't mind them. They brought Christianity. Let's go back to our traditional religion. Oh, let me tell you about your religion. No, I need to tell you. By now, they would have used you for ritual. No. Oh, you think they just say, Amadioha, Shango, I there. No. By now, your face is palm oil and all those things.
You see why most of the time the effort we put in, this little effort we put in, sometimes yield little or no results, is because of people like this. This pastor is a well-known pastor in the Nigerian community. I think his name is Femi Lazarus here. The pastor that this very man is making clips about. And he have a following of about 1 million plus on his Instagram, according to what I gathered. And majority of those who follow this man are youth, African youth. Now just imagine the consciousness, the energy and vibration, the thoughts, everything about this 1 million plus youth diverted to this kind of message. Tell me, how would the effort we put in here will yield something? A man, a black man, an African in Al-Kabul land stood on a pulpit and made preachings like this to his audience, who see nothing wrong with demonizing African spirituality, telling you if not because of Christianity, they would have used you for ritual. Last time I checked, a lot of pastors use their members for rituals. A lot of pastors use their members' children for rituals. These are things that happen, they don't bring it out for you to see. Those places they go to collect power to perform that miracle that you see, it is same your blood that they're using. It is your blood they are using. In every organization, I think I told you, if you have watched Knowing Ourselves as a Nine Ether, I told you, we have the agreeable and the disagreeable. From time immemorial, it came with the creation. And this agreeable and disagreeable is like good and evil fighting each other. It's not today. Even in your among the children you give birth to, there is some that will not like the other. It's something I experience as well. So it's not something I just say. Look at your life. There are people that just don't like you, and there are people that love you. If you claim that African spirituality or African whatever, people use people for ritual, it's only in African spirituality that use people for ritual. Christianity use people for ritual. Other religion use people for ritual. Alright? That is to say, there are evil in every aspect of life. And there are good. Now, what do you work with? I keep saying this. What do you work with? This is what is important. Because there will always be the opposite. The disagreeable Anunnaki are out to destroy the efforts of the agreeable Anunnakis. The evil ones are out to destroy the efforts of the good ones. And that's why we have lies and truth. We have good and evil. We have agreeable and disagreeable. We always have the opposites. We grow with it. We grew with it. And we are growing with it. It's not something that is only reserved for African spirituality. Those who really know what spirituality is will never involve themselves in tapping, in using people's energy for their own, for selfish reason or interest. But churches and mosques and places of gathering today have turned to places where draconians tap from people's consciousness. Who are the draconians? Your pastors know who these draconians are. Your pastors go to make pacts with these draconians because they are looking for members. A lot of pastors today go and open their altar where they are standing on that pulpit. Either they bury live human being or they bury fishes. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? There are church buildings that we have seen where they bury live animals as they are making the foundation of those churches. And you go to those places and you shout, "Oh Jesus, oh Jesus." You don't know what is going on. You think life is just Africans barbaric or white man came and saved you. Missionaries came and help you. If not for missionaries, you'll be what? You'll be this, you'll be that. You think that's how life ends? So this is it. When I saw this, I'm like, should I just give up? Because the more we keep doing, the more there is forces that is trying to draw everything back. Just like the efforts we are putting into awakening ourselves is like, oh, is it worth it? And why are we doing all this? To help us to know who we are, the power that we possess. That is why we do this. But it's unfortunate that some of you do not even appreciate. It's unfortunate. But I hope that one day you say, "Oh, Abigail was saying this. Oh, so what Abigail was saying was the truth." And I hope that it wouldn't be late at that point. I'll see you in my next one, Your Majesties. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always. Bye for now.